Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Gamer Bargains. Today, we're going to be talking about Chia and Chia mining, and some of the things you may want to consider before you start doing this. Some of the pros and some of the cons, and some of the things I think that everybody's kind of missing on Chia right now because it had a pretty big pump for a while where everybody wanted to do it, and it definitely shows with the network, space on it. So before I get into that, I just want to say, I haven't been active for the last few weeks because I went back to my house and I had to, do a few improvements to it to get it ready to go to market. So I did that, and I was working really long days doing that. And I just want to say thank you to all my friends. I'm not going to name them, but they know who they are that, came out and helped me a bunch. I'm forever grateful for all the help you guys gave me, man. Can't say thank you enough. So, anyways, guys, let's get into Chia a little bit here. So let's go over here now to the PC parts picker here. So this is my Chia build, and I didn't want to get into this too deep. I didn't want to spend too much money in this. Some of these parts I had laying around just because I've been upgrading computers and stuff. So some things I had, like probably half the build I had in my house, so that kind of saved me a little bit on cost. The other half I had to obviously buy everything. So if you don't know if you don't know what Chia mining is, it is essentially hard drive mining. It is proof of space instead of proof of work, which is what mostly everyone focuses with Ethereum. And I just wanted, I'll go over some of the issues I have with Chia here towards the end. But this is my Chia build. And I've been mining now for like almost 3 weeks now, and I don't have any Chia. Because it's only solo mining right now. There's supposed to be pool mining coming up here in the next couple of weeks, I think. I'll get into, what pool mining is for that too here in a little bit. And I'll explain a little bit more of that. But this is my build. I have a Ryzen 5 1600 AF, which is 6 cores and 12 threads. So I have a decent amount of thread count. It's a spare CPU I had sitting around that after I did an upgrade on my own system. So why not use it? I wanted to keep it kind of on the cheap side. So I went with, and I had a Thermaltake Suppressor F1 Mini ITX case that I just had laying around not being used. So I wanted to get a Mini ITX motherboard, and I went with this A320 from Asus because it has an M.2 and it has 4 SATA ports for hard drives and stuff like that. So it had some kind of nice features I liked about it. So and it was priced really well. I think this is pretty much what I paid for. It was like $100, so it's pretty good. So I went for my SSD to do the initial plotting, I went with an Inland 2 terabyte NVMe M.2, which has write and read speeds of 3,400 megabytes per second, so it's super fast. And then for the main storage to actually hold the plots, I went with a Seagate Exos Enterprise 8 terabyte, just regular 7200 RPM hard drive. Now, the reason I decided to go with an enterprise hard drive over a traditional hard drive, some of you may or may not know, but the plotting process on Chia is very intensive on hard drives. There's lots of reading and writing going on constantly. This will wear out your parts. If you do not buy enterprise grade parts, I guarantee you will. I've seen already some other YouTubers have to replace some parts. Like I'll probably have to replace that NVMe with an actual enterprise grade NVMe or a different type of solid state because the reading and writing process is so strenuous on the hard drives that it will just burn them out because they're only good for so much. And the plotting process, it does put a large strain on it. So if you're just going to be using a regular hard drive for your plotting and not even using SSD up front, then I would suggest getting an enterprise grade one. The graphics card is a GTX 750 Ti. It's just a spare GPU I had sitting around, and it just needs to project the video to a monitor. So it's doing its job. And the power supply I also had laying around. So the only things I had to buy was the motherboard and the RAM I went with 16 gigs, which I think I should have went with 32. Probably would have helped me with plotting a little bit, but so far it's been okay. And then, so the 2 hard drives, the memory, and the motherboard is what I had to buy. Everything else I had on hand. So this is my build. This is, I use PC Parts Picker, and this is about what it, I paid half of that. So I paid $350 to get a Chia mining rig going. So I spent like $350. So not too bad, right? Not a super large investment. Now let's go over here to the Chia calculator. Now, when I first started this build and when I ordered it, so this is the total network space, okay? And now look, this is about how many plots I'm gonna get on this 8 terabyte Exos enterprise thing. It says estimated time to win over 1 year. When I first did this, and I did this calculator, okay, they were not at 16.3 exabytes. In fact, 2 days ago, there was only 15.3 exabytes. So this network is growing exponentially. So if you're looking at this calculator and you're thinking of buying like a bunch of 16, 18 terabyte hard drives, I highly suggest not doing that, because once again, hard drive prices are up because demand is there with low supply. So, and so yeah, when you're using this Chia calculator, you just don't know, because this is just showing you what's currently up. People could be plotting tons and tons more of plots. So in 2 days from now, this could go from 16.3 exabytes to 18 exabytes. So for that, it's really hard for them to calculate like what you're actually going to make, because this number right here is constantly going up. So it's always going to be changing. So, and this is what she is at right now, about $680. And this is what their suggested hard drives are. They suggest you use a 12 terabyte Western Digital, which you don't need that much. And this is ridiculous to use a Nook. I mean, you can if you want. You could use, you can use all these other plotting SSDs and all this other stuff. So, I mean, look, you're going to be at $1,500 and you're going to take you over a year, maybe 2 years, if you're lucky to get your money back in solo mining. Not very good on ROI. So, now we'll go over here to the Chia network here, and this is their site. This is the actual Chia site, and this is where you would install the Chia blockchain on the computer. And so when you want to mine Chia, you're not just installing a miner. It is only full node, which means you have to record and you have to let it sync all the way up to the network to the current block, which it took me like 3 days to just sync up, which was ridiculous. And during the time after I was already synced and started plotting, it would desync, and then I might have to, and one time it took over a day just to get back up and synced. So their GUI is horrible. It constantly goes out of sync. This thing is just a mess right now, and they need to do a lot of improvements, which is expected. It's new. I'm not trying to be too critical on them here, but yeah, they need to have a minor version, because having the full node and desyncing and having to like wait a day before you can actually go back to farming is ridiculous, because it won't sync if you're plotting. So that means if you're waiting to sync, that means you lose a whole day of plotting. So, I mean, it's just a lose-lose. So it's not good. You need to just have a way to mine it, and that's it. So I mentioned pools earlier. There's already some pools out there, but here's the problem, is you have to give them your numeric passphrase, which means that they could take your Chia from you. Never do that. Never. No, I don't care what anybody says on their website. Yeah, in the crypto world, you can trust no one. Never do that. You could do which H pulls out there, and people say it's been good and this and that. And sure, it could be good, but I guarantee you, once they get big and they get a lot of Chia in there and they know everyone else has a lot of Chia, they're going to pull out and take it from everyone. I've seen it too many times happen before, so yeah. So there is no official pooling yet, there's going to be pooling, but here's the problem: is all your plots that you've already made. So let's say you've already filled up an 8 terabyte, and it took you however many days or how much time it took you to make those plots. Guess what? You have to delete all those plots, and then you have to replot with poolable plots, which is more wear and tear on your drives. And I guarantee you, there's going to be a bunch of drive failure. So here's the problem with Chia. They claim to be, to use to be able to farm without having a big electric bill, because of proof of work with the GPUs. And, I've been a GPU miner for, a good amount of time, since January, so like 6 months. And I could say I prefer GPU mining over the hard drive mining. And the reason for that is I don't mind paying the electric bill because I make more money in profit to offset the electric bill. So that's just nothing. The thing that concerns me with Chia, which it's energy efficient, sure, I'll give them that. Here's the thing is you're going to be killing hard drives, which is just going to be creating e-waste. You're just going to be killing your drives and chucking them in the garbage. I have been mining for 6 months straight, and I haven't had one GPU die at all. You know what I mean? So the plotting process is just way too intensive on the hard drives. And I think even if you get enterprise drives, and depending upon if you want to do this for the long haul and do it for long term, I guarantee you'll be spending money on drives, and it will be expensive. So I'm not sure about Chia. Sure, they're more energy efficient, yeah, but in the end, it's too intensive on the hardware to sustain a long life on the hard drives. So right now, as it sits, due to the size of the network and things like that, I would recommend any hobby miner to start doing Chia, unless you plan on dropping maybe $5,000 or $10,000 and having a server case with nothing but 16 terabyte, 18 terabyte drives in there, and you're gonna do some serious damage on this network space and solo mine, and have a super powerful Xeon processor with lots of threads, or a Threadripper. I don't think you're gonna do well. So I would wait for pools, and the pooling that's yet to be seen as well, to see how profitable it is. And even this token, it's just been dropping the whole time it started. It started at 1,500, it went down a little bit, went up to 1,800, and it's just been on a downhill slide ever since. So those are some things that you need to be watching out for Chia. So like I was saying, here's the price of Chia today. We're at Coin Market Cap. We're at $693.65. And if you look here, it started up at here. Was it $1,500 right up here? Oh no, it went down. $600. It went back up, and then we've just been down. So I'm not too sure about Chia. It's a new token, and it hasn't been around that long. And everybody wants to do hard drive mining, right? Because GPU mining was really expensive, and it was an alternative. But the time to get on is not now. Because after everybody makes videos and stuff like that of hash rates, then you get this big jump of everybody trying to get on the train, but the train's already left. You can't pre-mine it anymore. It had a low network space, and you could have actually got Chia tokens and sold them, when it was up here, at what was that, $1,600, right? That would have been, if you had 100 of those tokens, you would have been making some serious money. So I don't think it's personally worth it to mine Chia. And I'll watch it when the pools come out. I'm not plotting anymore. I'm at 45 plots. I filled up almost 5 terabytes. And, I've had the thing go up and down so much with the freaking syncing. The syncing on this thing is horrible. And it takes so long to sync back up. It could take you a whole day. So, and during that time, when you're not synced, you're not farming, as well as if you start plotting, it ain't going to sync. So then, it's not farming then. which means you're not making money if you could potentially find Chia. So yeah, there's just all kinds of issues with this. And I know people wanted to do this to like maybe, get into this and make some money because, Ethereum and GPUs are super hard to come by. But I do think that it's totally worth it. Let me close my Steam out here. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't realize I was still on Steam. But yeah, I'm into it. We'll say $700 worth of gear. I haven't made $1, and I've been almost 3 weeks to a month mining, and this number keeps growing. So if you're doing your math here, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna get 300 plots. Yeah, you say, oh, I'm gonna make my money back in 4 months. But check this out. If this number goes up by 2 exabytes, this is gonna go up by double or more. So then it'll be 8 months. So every day you'll be playing catch up. And you're not going to plot all this overnight either. This is going to take you a long time to plot that many plots. So yeah, mining Chia right now for the personal miner or hobby miner that just maybe wants to spend like $1,000 or something like that. This is totally not worth it for you. At least right now. I would wait and see what the pooling does. There's a bunch of pools. They, I think they have some news. Where's their blog at here? They had something on the Chia pools here. But yeah, it's just crazy right now. So anyways, guys, that's kind of my take on the Chia. Right now, I don't think it's possible to mine it, solo mine it right now anymore. The train's already left, and yeah. But I did want to say thank you to everybody. I didn't even think that I would even make it this far. I have 101 subscribers, so hey, super thankful for everybody. I didn't. For how long I've been doing this, I didn't think I would ever break that number. So it's cool to watch a channel grow. So this is my take on Chia. If you guys got any questions, if you guys have questions about the hard drives, maybe what hard drive hardware you should get, you can always just leave me a question down in the comment down below. If you guys are going to get enterprise grade hard drives, they will be more expensive than the regular traditional desktop hard drives. So just be prepared when you're looking at an 8 terabyte enterprise. It'll be far more expensive than a regular 8 terabyte. So, all right, guys, I'm going to wrap this video up. The next, I'm probably going to be talking about maybe some spec mining and maybe mining other tokens that, are still profitable right now, but they're not really being on the radar right now, that it might be worth to mine these tokens, because I've already paid myself back for my other GPUs I just bought, all my 1660 Supers. So right now, all my gear is paid for, so anything I make after this is just, money in the bank. So yeah, the next video we'll be doing, it'll be about maybe mining a different token than what everyone else is mining right now, which is Ethereum. So I will see you guys next time.